Most of us have fantasized about hitting it big at some point in our life. Whether it's by coming up with $1 million idea, winning the lottery, betting on sports, investing in stocks and crypto, or even finding hidden treasure. For most people, this is just a dream. But for the incredibly lucky few, great fortunes are still out there, just waiting to be discovered. With that in mind, here are 10 examples of ordinary people who made amazing discoveries that made them millionaires virtually overnight.
Yeah, buddy.
Number 1. Hand of Faith Gold Nugget. In the fall of 1980, Kevin Hillier and his family were traveling up and down the Australian coast in a van searching for work opportunities. Hillier had been making ends meet by doing odd jobs. However, after suffering a back injury, doctors had told him to cut back on the physical labor and go walking to aid in his recovery, which directly led to his interest in metal detecting. Hillier's wife often prayed they would discover their fortune through their newfound hobby, and Hillier once dreamed that he found a nugget so big that it couldn't be removed from the soil. But the family continued to struggle until one day in September of 1980, when outside his small hometown of Wedderburn, Victoria, Hillier's dreams became an unbelievable reality. While out walking with his metal detector, Hillier really did discover a gold nugget that couldn't be pulled out of the ground, initially anyways. After many hours of carefully digging around, he managed to extract a gold nugget that weighed about 61 pounds. He sold that gold nugget in February of 1981 to the Gold Nugget Casino in Las Vegas for over $1 million, where it remains the largest gold nugget on display anywhere in the world. Number 2. Heade's Magnolias on gold velvet cloth. In January of 1999, an unnamed man was playing a board game about fine art titled Masterpiece when he recognized a picture that was painted in a similar style to a painting he had bought to cover a hole in the wall of his Indiana home. Surprised, he searched the internet until he came across information from the Kennedy Galleries in New York regarding the work of an American artist named Martin Johnson Heade. After sending some pictures and a description of the painting in his home to the experts at the gallery, the owner was shocked to learn that his acquisition was actually a lost work by Heade. The piece was still in its original frame, and it was in remarkable condition, considering it was painted in the 1890s. Heade's Magnolias on gold velvet cloth, as the painting was titled, was eventually purchased by a Houston Museum of Fine Arts for more than $1 million after the Board of Trustees managed to raise the funds in a meeting that lasted less than 90 minutes. But don't be discouraged. Reportedly, there are many more lost or forgotten valuable paintings just waiting to be found at your neighborhood thrift store, flea market, or yard sale. Also, check out our video on 10 valuable treasures that are still missing. Number 3. Declaration of Independence. The Declaration of Independence is considered by many Americans to be the most important document in the nation's history. After the original was created, 200 first edition copies were made by John Dunlap. Of the 26 copies known to survive, only 3 of them are currently in the hands of private collectors. One such copy was discovered behind a painting that a collector only bought because he liked the frame. Upon disassembling the frame, the unidentified owner found an unspeakably fresh first edition copy of the Declaration of Independence folded up behind the picture. An excited friend encouraged the owner to contact Sotheby's to get it appraised, and it eventually sold for $2.42 million at auction in 1991, with the price reflecting the unique nature of this discovery and the remarkable condition of the piece. That same copy was auctioned by the 1991 auction winner again in 2000, this time bringing $8 million. Number 4. Hoxne Hoard. In November of 1992, a farmer was working his fields in Suffolk, England, when he realized that he had lost his hammer. Knowing it could take years to search for it alone, and not willing to give it up as lost and buy a new one, he asked his friend Eric Laws to bring his metal detector over and attempt to locate his missing tool. Not long into the search, Eric picked up a signal, so he began digging in the soil where the reading was the strongest. It quickly became apparent that he had not found the hammer, but had instead stumbled across something much more exciting. After digging up a few shovelfuls of gold and silver coins, Eric quickly contacted the police and local archaeologists to inform them of his discovery. The very next day, a team of experts excavated their entire chunk of earth containing the coins so that they could be examined and extracted under laboratory conditions. It was only when the experts began the lab work that they realized the significance of Eric's discovery. Overall, Eric had found about 60 pounds of gold and silver objects, including over 15,000 coins that dated from the Roman occupation of Great Britain. Eric Laws received over $2.5 million from the British government as compensation for his remarkable discovery, which he split evenly with the landowner, who did eventually find the hammer, which had sparked the initial search. Number 5. The Royal One, Black Opal. In 1999, a man known only as Bobby decided to sell all of his equipment and retire from an opal mining career that had lasted more than 20 years. Bobby lived in Lightning Ridge, a small mining community in New South Wales, Australia, and he found the stone in the very last bucket that he had mined. Bobby worked carefully for months to reveal the beautiful opal, which he eventually named the Royal One, for reasons only known to him. Bobby inexplicably kept it under his bed when he wasn't wearing it in a kangaroo skin pouch around his neck. He did this for more than 14 years despite having the expertise to know just how potentially valuable this opal was. Eventually, it was auctioned off in Santa Fe, New Mexico in 2013, and the Royal One, a 306 carat high quality black opal, netted Bobby over $3 million. We just wanted to pause and thank you for watching this Yeah Buddy video. If you hit the like and subscribe button, we'll show you where X marks the spot on your map. Now, back to 10 amazing discoveries that turned ordinary people into millionaires. Number 6. Tanzanite Stones. Tanzanite is an incredibly rare mineral that can be found only in one place on Earth, the African nation of Tanzania, from which the gem gets its name. The rarity of Tanzanite makes it extremely valuable, and mining this gem provides a valuable source of income for many budding entrepreneurs and treasure hunters in the country. Out of all the people who have spent their lives searching for Tanzanite, Sananu Lazier must be considered one of the luckiest. In June of 2020, his mining operation in Tanzania recovered the 2 largest examples of the mineral ever recorded, weighing 20 pounds and 11 pounds. Which he then sold to the Tanzanian government for more than $3.4 million. Amazingly, Lazier wasn't ready to retire with his new fortune. Just 2 months later, in August of 2020, reports suggest that he found another huge piece of Tanzanite weighing 14 pounds, worth an estimated $2 million. Lazier has 30 children to care for, but he still promises to build a school and a medical center with his newfound wealth in an attempt to help all the people who live in his impoverished community. Number 7. Crosby Garrett Roman Helmet. In the UK, important archaeological finds must be reported to the relevant authorities upon their discovery. Certain valuable metals such as gold and silver are not permitted for private sale. So just like the previously mentioned Hoxne Hoard, a finder's fee is paid to anyone who discovers and reports valuable historical artifacts. The finds are then acquired by local museums where they can be studied and viewed by the public. The next item, however, wasn't covered by these laws, as it was made from bronze, which is only considered treasure if it's found as part of a hoard. Since this object was discovered on its own, it could be sold privately, which was great news for the pockets of the unnamed person who found it. The artifact in question is a bronze ceremonial Roman cavalry helmet in unbelievable condition for its age. It was discovered by an amateur metal detectorist on a Cumbrian farm in the UK in May of 2010. It's one of only 3 Roman helmets to be found in all of Britain with a complete face mask. Because of its rarity and the fact that it could be purchased by anyone, the helmet eventually sold for $3.6 million, which was paid by a private collector at an auction in October of 2010. Number 8. Staffordshire Hoard. An amateur metal detectorist named Terry was searching a field in Lichfield, England in July of 2009 when he came across an area with a uniquely strong signal. Almost immediately after breaking the surface of the ground, the man knew that he had discovered something special as he started to uncover an astonishing stash of gold, weapons, and ornaments that had lain undisturbed beneath the surface of the earth for over 1,300 years. What has become known as the Staffordshire Hoard was essentially a war hoard dating from 600 to 650 CE, which was an especially turbulent period for England's history. Experts believe that the items were captured in battle by armies from the Kingdom of Mercia, which was at war at the time with the neighboring regions of Northumbria and East Anglia. Although how it became buried in a field far away from known buildings or roads, we probably will never know. The hoard was purchased by the Birmingham Museum for more than $4.3 million and is still available for the public to view. The money was split evenly between metal detectorist Terry Herbert and landowner Fred Johnson. Number 9. Christ Mocked by Cimbue. This story is remarkably similar to that of Heade's Magnolias on gold velvet cloth, which originally covered a hole in the wall. However, this painting, Christ Mocked by Cimbue, hung over a stovetop in a French farmhouse for decades. Thought to be a Russian religious relic, the paint was darkened by the stove's heat, and the whole thing was covered in dirt and grease. This tiny masterpiece was eventually discovered in September of 2019 by an auctioneer categorizing the belongings of an elderly owner who had moved out of their old house and into a retirement home. Upon closer inspection, and after some cleaning, it was realized that this was one of only 11 known paintings created by the Italian artist Cimbue. The painting was put up for auction. It was purchased by 2 US-based collectors who specialized in Italian Renaissance art, but the French government imposed a 30-month ban on the export of the painting, with the hope that it could quickly raise enough money to buy it so that the painting could remain in France and eventually be displayed at the Louvre. The eventual sale price? $26 million. And lastly, number 10, the third Imperial Easter egg by Faberge. The Russian Revolution is famous for many things: the eventual rise of communism, the demise of the Romanov royal family, and the confiscation and eventual sale of numerous golden bejeweled eggs created by the master artist Peter Carl Faberge by the incoming regime. Faberge eggs not only hold remarkable value because of the cost of their materials used in their creation and their fabulous design, but also because they are the last remaining relics of a royal family and a way of life that no longer exists in Russia today. You would think that with their incredible notoriety, Faberge eggs would be quite easy to identify and locate, but due to the secretive nature of Stalin's sales of the eggs to private buyers in Western countries, 8 of the imperial eggs created for members of the Russian royal family are still missing today. So, when a man from the Midwest happened across the third imperial Easter egg at a jumble sale, the intention behind him spending $14,000 on acquiring this unique piece of art was not based on knowledge of art or Russian history, but from a desire to melt it down and profit from the raw materials that the egg consisted of. Upon appraisal, however, the unnamed man realized he had paid more for the egg than the value of the gold and jewels were worth, and he was worried that he had made a colossal error that would cost him thousands of dollars. In desperation, the man searched the words egg and Vacherin Constantine, which were the words engraved around the clock on the inside, into Google and stumbled across an article in the British newspaper. To the scrap metal dealer's astonishment, The egg he thought would lose him money was eventually worth something in the region of $33 million, and in 2014, the egg was purchased by a private collector for an unknown price. And that's it! 10 amazing discoveries that turned ordinary people into millionaires virtually overnight. Do you know of any others? If so, tell us about them in the comment section below. Also, if you'd like us to continue to make videos like these, we just ask that you hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.